This is
Hashtag Ask Damo.
James Billingham via Facebook. So he says, "Hi Damian, I'm a recent fan of yours and I've started working with a music venue in Wolverhampton that doesn't have any bands or rock indie music playing at all. I'd love to start putting bands on, but don't have a budget to pay all the acts. What would your advice be?"
So this is a great question. I wanted to start the show with this one because it actually came through whilst I was doing some work this morning, and it popped up, and I was like, the reason why it's a great question is because one of the things I would suggest is the thing that you just did. You just found a way to get to someone who has access to lots of band eyeballs, if that makes sense. And so right now, from saying that, in Wolverhampton, you're saying that there's a venue looking for Indian rock bands to do gigs. Haven't got any budget as yet, so you've thrown that out there, which we'll come to in a minute, but there is an opportunity right there for bands in and around the middle of England, the Midlands area of the country. So firstly, good, that's what you've done, that's brilliant. So bands now should be watching this. Anyone who's in and around that area thinking, I'm up for that, I'm up for going and doing a gig down there, they should be commenting down below and saying, James, hook us up, this is our band, we'd love to be considered for a gig. Now this is the way I look at this, from a band point of view, before I start looking at James's question. The way I look at this is, James is basically starting up a night. Now, he doesn't have any money yet. Now, the word is yet. So the bands that get on the ground with him now are the bands that he will remember forever. This will be his legacy in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years' time when he is a big ass promoter and he's thinking, you guys were there for me. So this is favor time. This isn't just a promoter coming saying, we don't pay our bands, if you want to play, fine. This is someone saying, I'm really passionate, I want to put on a night, I'm really excited about this, I've just started, and so therefore this is where favors come in. This is where bands come through and say, do you know what, we'll come and play for you, we'd really like to do that, and we'll all have a great night, and James will remember the bands. And so I think that's really important. So if I was a band, would I be doing this gig for free? 100%. I'm a big fan of free. In fact, I get asked to do a lot of keynote speeches, which basically means going to anything from universities, colleges, schools, business events, social media events, and one came through the other day through yourself in Edinburgh, and the organisers just said, look, we really love you to come to this, but we just don't have any budget. So I was like, I'm going to come and do it anyway. Yeah. And the reason for that is I'm going to travel from Brighton to Edinburgh. I'll pay for myself. I'll just do it myself because I've looked at the event and I've just thought that person or those people running that event in 5 years' time, that event's going to be 10 times the size. And that, playing the long-term game, that's the one I want to be on. Yeah. When they said, oh, we used to do this venue, but now we do this venue, and then we did this venue, and now we're doing Wembley Stadium, I want to go, well, I was in at the beginning, so you're taking me with you. Yeah. So it's kind of like a bit of a long, playing the long game. So from a band's point of view, that's what I would do. And I think from James's point of view, flipping that around and actually approaching bands and saying, this is what I want to achieve. Now, you know, when it comes to working in a business, you guys will know this. Money is only part of the solution. What you get offered in your job for job satisfaction goes way past just finance. It's not just the money. So James, what you've got to do is you've got to find ways to entice bands in, to make it exciting. So the way you're going to do that is going to be offering them something, and so it's going to be a tough struggle, but if you can get 50 people down to a gig because you're putting it on through the way you're going to promote, then that means every band in that area who are looking for gigs should be thinking of you as a serious contender, because it's an extra 50 people. One night of the week, just turn up, play a gig, 50 people who've never seen the band before. That is good odds. You know, you do that every night. You play 50 new people every single night, and you do that for 1 year, and that is a big ass audience that you can push towards Facebook or wherever your socials are. So it's got to be, from James's point of view, it's got to be, there's no leverage, it's leverage from James of what he can bring, it's leverage from the band of what they can bring, and then it's a lovely partnership, a lovely collab and meet in the middle. So, but firstly, you've done the right thing. You've actually started to approach people that can actually get your question or get your venue and your night in front of people so that the bands can actually see it and make a decision. If I was a band watching this now, the first thing that I'd be doing is I'd be going down to my comments and I'd just put on the bottom, I'd just say, James, we'd love to play your show, hit us up. And so I would hope that 10 bands on Facebook and YouTube at least will message underneath this saying, let's have a chat, let's see if we can work something out.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do. And I would do that times by forums, and I would do that. And, you know, and don't be put off by loads of bands saying, fucking pay to play, fuck you. You'll get that all the time. You'll get bands that go, I'm not fucking playing for free. That's fine. You just go, that's okay. That's your choice. Don't have to play for free. You know, James has set it out, his stall out from the beginning. He's not trying to rip anyone off. He's saying, I'm really excited. I want to work with bands. I want to build a night. It's going to take me some time. If you want to be involved in it, that's what I'm bringing. Not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. So it's up to the bands then whether they want to do it. And there's lots of bands that will get, you know, arsey about it. Ignore them and just keep pushing on. And for every 9 bands that say no, 1 band will say yes. And it's just that sort of work ethic. You've got to work on that ratio of just asking bands again and again and again and again and again. Same thing with collabs. For bands, when you want to do collabs, I had someone come through the other day and said, we've been asking people to do collabs and we've had a few people turn down. And I was like, how many have you asked? And he said 3. And I was like, no, 300, man, not 3, 300, because if you're going to ask 3, your odds are low. So I'm like, you ask 300 in order to get 10. Yeah. That's the odds. So you've got to play the odds game a little bit. And I think James is the same thing. And just start, you know, the other thing you can do as well is flattery. One thing I always say, when you're in a job interview, one of the best things that you can say in a job interview is, I really want this gig. I really want this job, because it's such a great thing to hear when you're actually on the other side of it, employing someone, and someone says, I think this is great for me. I really want to do this. You're like, oh, well, good. That makes me feel like you want it. So I want to do it as well. And so when it comes to this, if James goes and finds a band and says, I love you, I can't promise you much, but I would love it if you would come and play my night. I really would love it. And I'll go out and do everything I can to get as many people down as possible. It's flattering. It's really flattering. And if I was in a band, I'd be like, well, let's see what I can do, you know. Let's try and make something happen.
And bands starting off as well, you know, like myself included, and generally happy to play like a free gig if it's going to be a good gig, because, you know, people see your band and that still pays off.
Man, I've been doing this 20 years. I don't need the money. I do this because I love it. If someone wants me to come and do a keynote and I can do it, I'm going to go and do it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Because I know that in 5 years' time, when I'm like, I can't fit any more of this stuff in, you know, then I might look at financing it. But for me, this is a way of actually getting my name out in the music industry circles to more people. Because this week there'll be 10 people that go, who the fuck is this guy who keeps popping up? You know, I've got to do that every day. Every single day of my life, I want 10 to 100 people to go, who is that guy that I keep hearing about? And then going, okay. You know, and even, you know, I'm a recent fan, which means that I've been doing this for a year and he's just gone, I've just found out about you. Well, in a year's time, there'll be another bunch of people who just found out about me, and a year and a year and a year, every single year that happens. And so, like you said, it's just getting in at the ground floor and finding the level of band that's prepared to do it, and then all working together.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.